Wow. Hey everybody, welcome to the Renaissance Woodworker Shop Update for November 18th, 2016. What you just witnessed was my inaugural run of this brand new saw that I just got. Kennebec Saws is a company that I actually been talking about for a couple of months now. It's run by Niles Kresh, who actually ends up being one of my hand tool school students. And Niles is restoring saws and selling them. He's been selling them mostly to hand tool school students, but he's selling to the public as well. And I just had to check it out. So I started talking to him about a really aggressive rip saw, specifically one for 12/4 and thicker stock. And I was looking for like a 4 points per inch saw. Well, he found this beautiful Tyzack & Sons 28-inch, 4 points per inch saw. It's got a little bit of 5 points per inch right out on the toe, but let's see, right about there is where the 5 points per inch starts. The rest of it is all really aggressive 4 points per inch. And it just cuts through this heavy 12/4 Sapele like it's nothing. It might as well be 4/4. It's exactly what I'm looking for this thick stuff. So KennebeCsaws.com. It's a gorgeous saw. It's incredibly sharp, very well set, tracks like it's on rails. So I couldn't endorse Niles' work more. He's been selling to my students for a while now, and everybody's just raving about it. So here's my big endorsement of KennebeCsaws.com. Check out Niles' work. If you're looking for a specific saw, reach out to him. He may have something for you. So this week I was finally able to publish the sawing class that I taught at Woodworking in America in Cincinnati back in September. It was a full 2-hour long class. It took a lot of editing to do to splice my PowerPoint slides and everything into the video, but it's now published on my YouTube channel. And for those of you who couldn't make Woodworking in America, I hope you'll be excited about this because, as I said, it's the complete class. I edited out a few of the questions at the very, very end, but really what you're seeing is the full 2-hour presentation. If you wanted to know anything about types of saws and how to buy saws and what saws you need and eccentricities and oddities of tooth geometry, as well as just general usage tips for ripping, cross-cutting, and bench work, it's all in there. I tried to cram it all in, and I think we got it all in there, at least to get you started in sawing. So check out that video. I hope you really enjoy it. I've got another one coming from one of the other classes I taught, but who knows when that's going to get out. It's a lot of editing to do. So since we're on the sawing kick, I had a little sawing tip for creating bevels. Hutch had written in and said he was trying to create long bevels. He's actually making tables, and the tabletop and the leg actually come together at a right angle at a miter, and he was trying to figure out how he could do this with a hand tool approach over a really wide area. So bevels really can be created with a saw very quickly by laying out the extents of the bevel. Now, if you wanted a 45 degree, you'd basically set your gauge to the thickness of the board and then create that line on the face and then just connect those two lines. You've got 45 degrees. In this case, I was thinking more of like a decorative bevel. So I just set my square to some amount and lay a line on the edge, and I used that same setting to put a line on the face. And I was able to connect those 2 points on the end grain to create a bevel angle, which I then set in my bevel here. Now what I want to do is create depth lines. I'm going to use a scrub plane to remove the majority of the waste, but how do I know if I've gone too far? Well, this is where the saw can be really beneficial. I can use my saw to cut the hypotenuse of this triangle. So I've got one extent on the top, one extent on the face, and if I get the saw so that it just kisses that line and the line on the face, the angle in between is the hypotenuse. And that gives me a depth line that I can work to with my scrub plane. I just want to kiss the line. I don't really want to split the line or pass the line or anything. Because ideally, what I want to do is plane down until those kerfs are almost gone, and then I'll come back with a jack plane or something like that and just remove the kerfs entirely. Let's put a couple more in here. should do. Use the scrub plane. You could use a draw knife if you wanted to get even more aggressive. You could even come in with a chisel and knock off even more waste. Because I've got these stop cuts in here, you're not going to split anything out dramatically. I'm just working down to my lines and kind of spot planing where I can see I've got high spots. Okay, I'm just about at my lines. I can take a little bit more off right there. All right, now I'm just about at my lines. I can see the starter kerfs that I created here are really, really shallow. Now I'm going to switch over to jack plane. I'm going to straighten this all out. Okay, so now I can look at my kerfs and see that I'm removing them here, but I'm still kind of deep in the middle. So let me take some passes there. Again, spot planing away where I can see I've still got a kerf. Lighten up my cut just a bit. Oh, too much. Tiniest hint of a kerf right back here. Okay. And now, ideally, I'm at my bevel angle. That was the bevel angle that I had set off the line on the end. By planing down till those kerfs are eliminated and then just taking one or two passes after that, you've set the geometry on this edge. So the plane, when you set the plane on it, it won't rock one way or another because you've set that geometry, and it's just a matter of flattening that surface out. It doesn't matter whether that's this flat face or this square face or an angled face. It's just flattening it out once you've actually set that bevel angle. And now I've got a perfect whatever this angle is along this entire edge. And you can see just how easily you could transfer this into a 36-inch long, 8-foot long board just by using a series of stop cuts. So that's it for me this week, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the question, Hutch. If anybody has any other questions, send them in. I'll address them in a future shop update. See you next week.